First story. Wife of 10 years has been cheating and ended our marriage. So this all kicked off in January, but I will give you some background on us. We have known each other for 13 years. I met her when she was working at a bar. We got to talking and I gave her my number before I left. We had our first date 3 days after that and became inseparable from that day, as in we were together all the time. We moved in together quickly. We were always totally compatible and comfortable with each other. Our morals and core values aligned, and one of the keys was neither of us ever wanted a divorce, especially if we had kids. She comes from a broken home, hates her father for cheating on her mother and treating his kids, her and the brother, poorly. When she was pregnant with our first, she was homesick, so I finished up where I was working for us to move 1,800 km away, to a place I had never been before. I struggled to find work in my field in the new city. And after our son was born, I was just working retail, and we discussed me studying more to change careers. I got accepted into med school, which meant we had to move again. We moved to another state and I studied hard while she made friends in our new location. That first year was because she ended up with a cancer scare, and we also had a miscarriage. I stopped study that year to stay with her and our kid. We got pregnant again while I was back at study and we had a healthy baby boy. He actually was born on the day of my final exam, which I skipped to be with my wife. I went back to study in the new year and completed that year. It was hard being away from them all the time and having to focus on study so much. My wife now says I was neglecting her and the kids. I always asked her if she was okay, if she needed me to do anything. She never said anything to me, just complained to her friends. I got myocarditis from the COVID vaccine, and also when I caught COVID it fucked me up pretty badly, which ended up with me missing most of a year of study. And then when I was well enough to go back to study, I got a significant spinal injury that has taken surgery and nearly 2 years of rehab to get me anywhere near being a functional human. I still have chronic unrelenting pain, but I'm managing. Through all that sickness and injury, my wife decided to first become a fitness instructor, then studied to become a personal trainer, and has been working as a PT for 18 months at this point. She got herself fit and has been working on bodybuilding as well. I have always encouraged her to chase her dreams and told her she can do anything. Most of the men in her life have never believed in her. She has been away from home more and more over the last 6-9 months, always busy. I have become the primary carer for our kids because she leaves before they get up, and often isn't home until after dinner time. Over Christmas she was behaving distant and odd towards not just me but the kids as well. We were on holiday but she was still stressing about work. On January 7th she sat down on our bed and said she was feeling disconnected from me. We needed to spend more time together. She said she had been texting a guy from her gym for a couple of weeks and felt bad. It was nothing sexual and nothing had happened. We discussed it as a warning. She agreed to us doing counseling. She cuddled into my arms and we went to sleep. The next day, after further questioning, she admitted it had been sexual, nothing physical. She agreed that she would need to stop communicating with the guy, but then decided she didn't want to after she had been to work and talked to a friend. The next day it came out it was more like 2 months, and that it was over and she didn't want to do anything to help our relationship. Said she would be moving out. She went off and slept with the guy the next day when she was meant to be looking after the kids. When that guy, who was in his early 20s, my wife is in her mid-30s and I'm 42, dumped her a week or 2 later, she decided we should at least do some counseling. We started counseling and agreed to a trial separation. We wouldn't tell the kids. She would continue to sleep in the spare room. We agreed to no dating or bringing anyone else into the situation. Agreed to 6 months of trial and counseling for us individually and as a couple. We both started reading self-help books and exchanging the ones had read. We discussed things we found applied to us. Things were getting better. We were almost like friends again. Then she started acting weird again, to me and the kids. She had been talking to a client of hers at the gym when a guy came up and said he had been through a divorce and could give her advice and gave her his number. This blew up over Easter because she had been hiding it, once again breaching my limited trust I had in her. Before I knew about it, she actually left the home and the kids to go clear her head. She actually went and spent 2 hours with this guy. From what she has told me, this guy is older than me, has a 12-year-old son he only sees once a fortnight, and has been separated for 7 years. Cut a very long story short, everything has gone back to shit, and is actually worse than it has ever been. I don't trust a word she says. She has become totally unreliable where the kids are concerned, and she used to be all about them, her number one priority. She is now intending to date this friend, and from her behavior, has also started a sexual relationship with him already. I'm looking after the kids 80 to 85% of the time. She is rarely at home, and when she is, she puts in minimal effort for them and their care. I had to duck out to the shops, and when I got home, she had given the little one ice cream for dinner. Her devious in general is self-centered at best, totally narcissistic at worst. She doesn't care how much pain she has already caused. She blames me for not being a safe space for her to open up. Her memory has also become totally screwed. She forgets things and has done none of the things for the kids she said she would. My parents are concerned about her as her personality has totally changed. Her family aren't really aware what has been happening because she doesn't talk them about what is happening in detail. All she has is her gym buddies telling her to stay strong and she will get through it. My life is in a shambles. The person I believed in and trusted the most has turned her back, not just on me but our kids. I keep it together as best I can, but I struggle. I'm lucky my parents are nearby so they can come and help. I also don't have a big social support nearby because all my friends are now busy doctors or live in different states. Update. Wife is finally moving out. The consequences of her actions have started to impact her. So you can check my last post about the shit that has happened. After some great advice from people on here, and looking at resources, I started gray rocking in response to her, and she has hated it. She doesn't like that after all her lies and cheating that I want nothing to do with her. She dropped on me this afternoon that she has found a place and will be moving out next Saturday. She also told me that if I want her to pay for her share of the rent on our current place like she is obligated to for 4 weeks after giving notice to vacate, I will have to take her to court. I said okay, that's fine, I will do what I need to. She told me if I don't sign custody agreement with her for 50-50, she is going to take them with her anyway. I calmly informed her that as I am currently the primary carer for the kids, with about 80 to 85% of the care being directly from me, I would go and get a temporary injunction to stop her. I offered her for the current care arrangements to continue, and she can see them on weekends like she currently does, and once we do mediation we can see what they say. She won't accept that offer. She says she wants what's best for the kids, but is also willing to take them away from their home without consideration. Also refusing to let me know where her place will be. I have informed my lawyers of the latest development. See what will come of it. Update. At a loss for what to do. So if you want my backstory, it's in my previous posts. But TLDR, wife dropped on me she was having an affair in January. She was done and moving out 2 weeks later. Her AP had broken it off and she was still intending to move out, but had no plans or money to do so. We were doing counseling and things were improving. Then at Easter, she took up with another member of her gym and things went sideways majorly. She moved out 3 weeks ago. Her parting shot being taking the kids from school and taking them to her new place, which I don't know where it is, and called the police on me. She has made unfounded accusations of financial abuse, physical threats, and stalking. I have basically been gray rocking it and not reacting to her, just looking after the kids when I have them. She wants 50-50, but she keeps dropping time each week where she has something on, so I get the kids. So now I'm just looking after my physical and mental health. Been swimming, walking, and have joined a gym. Have lost 38 kilogram, 83 lbs, since January. Have set myself some goals to hit in the year. Complete a triathlon. My chronic back pain hasn't changed, but I just have to put up with it. I'm doing a diving course and organizing with my university to graduate with a master's degree from my complete studies. Trying to get myself registered to do my old medical radiation job. I go to IC fortnightly, and the opposite week I see a psychologist. Mixed in with those are appointments with physiotherapist and pain specialists for my back issues. I have also been organizing my kids' counseling and a child psychologist. The eldest is really struggling and has been defiant to both myself and his mother. Has lashed out, ignored others, and won't talk sometimes even about things he likes. He is sad and angry, feels left out, and is constantly hopeful that his mom and I will just magically get back together. Just the same way he saw the breakup because she just took him from school to her new place and was like, "This is my new house, I've moved out." I struggle every day I have the kids because I can see the pain and confusion in their eyes, the hurt and betrayal they feel, and I give them my love. Let them know they can ask anything. That I will support them and take care of them. Then when they are with the ex, I struggle because I can't give them the cuddles they need and love. I can't make sure she is actually attending to them and giving them the attention they need. She always has her head buried in her phone or iPad, and it doesn't seem to have improved. The person I used to like talking to the most is now a stranger. I feel like I bug my friends if I reach out to them because I'm a bit of a drag. At least at the pool or the gym, if I talk to people, I can put on my mask. And even though I'm hurting, I can pretend for a moment to be a functional adult. But the moments at home, where the kids are doing their own thing and want their space, I feel lost. The house is cleaner than it's been in years. I've started to run out of projects around the house. I want to reach out and talk to my ex because she was always the person to chat with, to have fun and have a laugh. But nowadays she can either be friendly when we talk or psychotic. I just kind of wish I could just meet someone to hang with and chat with and let my guard down. But I don't want to try dating apps because that would be the false impression. I don't want to find someone else. I just miss having a connection with someone. Blah, life is hard. Even though I seem to have everything together, it doesn't feel like it. Update. The latest new low from STBXW. If you want the full background, they are in my history. D-Day 1 was January. D-Day 2 Easter Friday. Went downhill rapidly after that. But throughout the breakup and separation and her moving out, she shifted from want to be friends, want to be respectful, want to focus on the kids, to the latest new shift from her. Our kids are struggling with their mother moving out. The fact that she continues to not be interested in them during story time. And the fact she doesn't really engage with them when they are at her new place. This last weekend, my eldest specifically said he didn't want her coming to his karate lesson. And then the younger one said he didn't want to talk to her because he is used to not talking to her now. These are red flags for me to her having broken her relationship with both the kids. She used to be a dedicated mother, but not since she got into the gym and bodybuilding. We had been communications about the kids, what they had been doing, how they have been saying they are sick and don't want to go to school or see their friends. Both kids previously loved school, but now she doesn't want to hear about what is happening with the kids, because it's emotional abuse and manipulation from me to control her how she acts with the kids. It's always about her these days. She doesn't want anything to disturb her new happy teenage-like life where she goes out, does what she wants, hooks up with her second AP while blaming everything on me. It's really easy to let someone go who is so full of themselves that they don't care to hear about their kids anymore. Update. More bullshit from the mind of a cheater. So my soon-to-be ex has been delusional and paranoid for a while. She still displays classic signs of a psychological problem. She seems reasonable on occasion, even displays being kind for the kids on occasion, but also does shit she knows will upset them. Anyway, today we talked on the phone because she was once again choosing to let the kids down and upset them while they are both sick because whatever, when she threw certain things at me. One of which was that a personal alarm I got after she had told me a woman had been attacked near her work, which she does closes for, was really a listening device to record what she was saying. I asked her to clarify why she thought that. All she would say was someone told her it was. Even though I had provided her the receipt and where I had bought it from, I asked her if she thought it was a listening device, why didn't she take it to the police? She called the police on me when she moved out and took the kids with her without notice. She had no answer to that. I asked her who it was who told her it was a listening device. She wouldn't give a name. My guess is it was her new BF. The wonderful person who came onto the scene when we were doing a trial separation, where we said we wouldn't be dating or looking to talk with other people. He just wanted to be friends. So she has been assuming that an alarm for safety I gave her before I knew she was cheating on me as a recording device. Took the word of some other person. Didn't mention or show it to the police, yet also just the other day suggested the kids, her and I all go on a camping trip for Christmas together. Insane person or not? I have contacted my solicitor about the bullshit about the alarm. They want her to make an official statement about it. Who told her it was recording listening device? It isn't. And we will then explore legal options for slander against the person who told her the lies, seeing as it has had significant impact on the relationship and is false. Second story. Should I tell my wife's AP's wife? I, 38M, recently learned that my wife, 37F, had an affair a few years ago. It lasted a few months. I confronted her and after initial denial, she came forward with the truth and answered my questions about it. From what I can tell honestly, my wife is not aware yet, but I do plan to divorce her. It devastated me to learn that not only did she have the affair, she hid it for several years successfully. I can no longer trust her for anything and I can't even prove she hasn't had another affair, though she claims this was the only one. I did ask about her AP. She told me his name when I insisted, and that she was not the first or last affair he has had. I looked him up online. He is also married. She has had some communication with him since the affair but none recently. Per my wife, AP's wife is completely in the dark. I feel like I should tell the AP's wife. I was able to find a few phone numbers linked to her. However, a friend who has gone through a divorce, similar circumstances, told me to wait until after my divorce to tell, as it could affect custody decisions with our kids, if it comes out that I told the AP's wife. But this is eating away at me and I feel like she deserves to know. I feel like a fool and I don't want someone else to go through this too. Also, I anticipate our divorce proceedings taking months to years. I know I won't be able to hide the truth that long. My wife refused to tell AP's wife when I asked her to and insists I do not either. Despite my wife's desire to protect a cheater, I have no interest in doing so. Should I find a way to tell her anonymously? Like an idiot, I did not make screenshots, so I have no evidence. But I can tell her how and where to find the evidence on him that she needs. And if I should, any advice on how to do this? Even though I feel this man's wife must know, I don't want to potentially damage myself in the process. Third story. Who breaks no contact? So I'm the dumpy. My ex was the dumper. We dated for 2 years. It was a beautiful and very healthy relationship. She broke up with me as we ended up in long distance. However, I do plan to close that gap after having some good news coming my way. Anyways, in normal no contact, the dumper is who should reach out. However, I had foolishly accepted friendship with her, which meant after the breakup, we kept the same texting routine and nothing really changed, until I snapped out of it and told her I had to walk away if she was unwilling to work on our relationship. She then sent a long paragraph about how much she loved me, etc., but she did not fight for us. I've been wondering if no contact works the other way now. Do I reach out because I walked out on her, or does she because she's the dumpy and she refused to work on us? I ask because I know that through her breadcrumbs she does miss me. She has since stopped posting on social media, but she always views my stories, which makes me believe there is still something there. Any advice? Update. I reached out to my ex. Me and my ex haven't spoken in a month. I decided to text her and she replied instantly. She said she was happy to see me, but she was having a hard time in her life, so I didn't pressure her into a long conversation. The next day we texted, but she disappeared for hours at a time, so I just assumed she was busy or not interested. I decided to call her and check on her. She said she only had a few minutes, but this ended up being an hour-long call. I felt confident. I felt happy, and she texted me afterwards to say it's the happiest she's been since the breakup. IDK what this means or what the future holds for us, but it made me feel nice.